The University of Toronto Sex Ed Center is going to host a massive orgy. What they're trying to do is raise awareness about safe sex, yada yada, all of that good stuff. But what this is really about is basically renting out a venue where students can go, just show their student ID, and have as much protected sex as they want with one another in public.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how open-minded the university is. In fact, let me read that graphic first because I was amazed at the attitude that they have. Now, naturally, people who are a little more conservative are going to have a problem with this, but the university released a statement that said, the university will not attempt to censor, control, or interfere with any group on the basis of its philosophy, beliefs, interests, or opinions expressed unless and until these lead to activities which are illegal or which infringe the rights and freedoms.
If that happened in the United States, first of all, the entire Fox News building would have blown up. Like, they were like, oh my God. They would have been so excited that they were going to run that story 24/7 for the rest of time.
Yeah.
That they would have exploded with excitement, right? And I can't imagine that they would allow that in the U.S. And now look, there's sex education in the U.S. and sometimes Fox News does their little things like, oh, can you believe they actually taught about sex and machines? Yeah, I can believe it. That's sex education and human sexuality courses in college. And sometimes you watch porn. I watch porn as part of a human sexuality class in college, etc. Going to a swinger event where they can actually have sex together, that's a whole different level, man.
I know.
God bless Canada. Yeah,
the university's in favor of it. And I'm actually fascinated about the fact that people are comfortable with having sex so publicly, right? Because I want to see how this event turns out. I want to see how many students actually go to it.
I hope they have video cameras.
Now, the venue is the Oasis Aqua Lounge. And basically they're saying that it's a 4-story venue that has surfaces that are easy to clean.
Yeah, I hope so.
And they're known for having events like this. But you're going to have your peers around you, and they're going to watch you have sex. Like, if you're into it, you're into it. That's awesome. But basically, you show up with a group of people. You could have sex with one another. You could have sex with a stranger. Sex, 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 sex.
Now, look, they're swingers, right? So that's not surprising. But what's interesting is that if you're part of this, and you're a college student, and you're like, oh, well, that's an interesting experimentation. Like, oh, Bobby the other day tried smoking pot. I went to a swingers club and had sex with 7 guys. Like,
in your college days, do you think you would have done this?
If they let me, of course. If they say, oh, we're going to go to a sex club and you're going to get to have sex with some of the hot girls in your class, I'd be like...
Publicly. Like in front of everyone.
Okay, I was about to say, where's the question? But, okay, so that's a question. If they didn't tape it and the women were hot, I'm like, line them up.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, if they're not taping it, oh, okay, so Bob and Sam saw it. I mean, that's their problem, not my problem.
What would Jesus do? He would do it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Who's going to, when you're in college, who's going to turn down hot girls?
But you're going to, like, have sex publicly. Like, people are going to see everything.
It's not public, like, it's not in the middle of Toronto, right? On this street, and there's 1,000 people. There's nobody taping, right?
Isn't it distracting to know there are people watching you have sex? I know that I know some people are definitely into it, right? And they get a kick out of that, and that's a totally different case. But I'm saying if you're not really into that and you're just looking to have sex with like random women, isn't it going to be distracting to have some dude in the corner like maybe wanking off?
Okay, that's a little problematic. I understand that, but I think I can get behind it depending on how hot the girls are and how many of them there are. And you know, for the guys, you just tell them, hey, look, take a seat, take some notes.